Welcome to Family Community Church. Today we're starting our 25th year anniversary celebration throughout the entire month of March. Throughout this month, we want to share with you how we first got started and where our journey has been. And so through a series of videos, we're going to show you exactly how God has been blessing us and the many people that have been involved in making all of this possible. It kind of starts that I was in business for myself, electrical contracting business, and it was doing quite well. And then there was a time towards the end of that the joy and the passion that I had for my business began to wane a little bit. And I wasn't quite sure what was going on, but it was definitely a change happening in my personality and just my focus with life in general. At that time, I began to just to go into a lot of prayer. And I remember one Saturday, I was preparing a message, and I was outside, and I was on the southwest part of my front yard. There's a rock underneath an olive tree, and I was sitting there. I just really began to sense the prompting of the Lord beginning to speak into my heart to start a new ministry. And it wasn't all that clear at that time exactly what was going to occur. But as I just sat there, he just began to impress upon my heart the importance of reaching out to families in Northwest Fresno. I just began to just talk out loud to the Lord and say, Lord, what would you name this church? I have no clue to how to even name a church. So how do we speak to it? It was out of, I believe it was 2 Timothy chapter 2, about verse 19. The foundations of God stand sure within the family. In spite of all the things that are going on and attacks that go on against the family, the God's foundation, his truth stands sure in that regard. That the foundations of God stand sure in our community. A lot of the challenges that we see in our community today, we need to know that God's truth for our community stands sure as well. That God's foundation stands sure within the church. That the church can be confident in spite of a lot of the challenges that it's facing, that the gates of hell shall not prevail against it, and that it stands sure. And then I can remember it dawning on me that, the 3 points would be what God was giving me even at that time, the name of the church: family, community, and church.
When I think about the past 15 years and just how everything began, I think about that first night, the meeting that we had in Pastor McGinsey's home. Didn't really have a real idea of what it was that he was asking us to do that evening, but as we came to his home, and he just simply handed us a booklet, and he asked each of us to read it. And as we read, we began to really see the vision coming alive on paper. As we read through it, I heard my husband make a comment. This is what a church really should be about. We were so excited. We were so amazed at what had been given to us. And for me, it was an instant thing. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I was supposed to come and help in this ministry work.
We were asked by Pastor Chester McGinsey, to help him get this local church going. And he had a very, very well-operating construction company going, making pretty good money and everything. And when the Lord called him, he took 2 or 3 months off and just isolated himself alone in prayer and just left his company and established this church. And we were impressed. So when he asked my wife and I to help him organize, we had no difficulty in helping him.
After reading the booklet, we called Family Community Church into existence. That was on a Friday evening. By Monday morning of the following week, we were at a bank opening up an account in the name of Family Community Church. Not a lot of money, but whatever we had, we put in. And from that point, we were literally just running with it.
And all we had was our faith in God and a King James Bible. That's all we had. We didn't have anything else. It was no joke. No one came and donated $1 million so we could buy land. But God blessed us through the faithfulness and the sacrificial love of people in this community. People with generous hearts that stepped up with courage and conviction, looked past what they had and saw a greater need, and wanted to be part of something bigger than their individual selves. People that said this community needs a church like what we have here today. People that looked for it in faith, that did not see it in the physical and the natural, but saw it in the spiritual, that if we pulled together, if we would come together, it would make it happen. Now, let me be clear about it. We had all kinds of people that came. We had all kinds of people that gave. We had people, yes, that made 6 figures and beyond, but we had some people that were just barely making it. And we had some people that were under the bus and under the water, but they all came and they wanted to be a part. And we struggled together to put something together for God. Amen. To what? Honor the blessings of God in our lives. A lot of folk didn't have anything to give, but I stand on this pulpit in the foundation, the names of those families. And I pray to God that each time I walk up behind this sacred desk, I'll never forget on the shoulders of whom I stand. Amen. It was their faithfulness to a holy and righteous God. But we all pulled together in faith. Now, Pastor, were there any naysayers? Absolutely. We had all kind of naysayers. People say, Pastor, the church is too young. You don't want to do this right now. Don't you know how people are feeling right now? No, we always had naysayers. But at a time when God has spoken, when God speaks, you got to listen to God or you got to listen to man. And I'm not trying to demonize the naysayers. The naysayers were a lot of bright, brilliant people, great minds, but they didn't hear God speak. Amen. They didn't pray long enough, because those that prayed long enough, those that heard God, obeyed the call of God, answered the call of God, they stood up, showed up, and put up to make what we have today happen. Why? Because we pulled together to make it happen.
Here we are on First and Bullard at an office complex. 105 is where the church office was while we were at Kazner Intermediate School. This is where we had all of our administrative work. The trustees met here, the deacons met here. We had a pastor's office, a receptionist's office, conference rooms, things of that nature. One of our passions has always been to pass the vision of Family Community Church down to the next generation. The tool that we used to be able to do that was what we call the Vision Bulletin. It was headed by Linda Simpson, who was the director of the Vision Bulletin. Her and a team of young people would meet here each Friday night and put and assemble a bulletin for the kids to view on each Sunday. They would do puzzles, games, different ways of expressing the vision of Family Community Church so that they would learn it. We thank God for the glorious opportunity to be able to rent Kazner Intermediate School, rent the temporary office facilities for those years, and now God has allowed us and blessed us to be able to build our own facility and then move into our own facility. To God be the glory.